Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Divine Gossip Podcast slash my YouTube channel. Hello, hi, how are you? It's been so long since I have filmed or recorded or edited anything long form content wise, so I'm very, very happy to be back. You literally have no idea how much I have been through to get here. As you can probably tell, I am on a actual camera, not my laptop camera, not my phone, but an actual camera. I have purchased the Sony ZV-E10. No, this is not sponsored. I just know this camera like the back of my fucking hand now because of the amount of research I put into this. I've had two cameras break. Okay, actually, you know what? Before I just start ranting, how are you? How are you doing? I have so much to say. It, I don't even know where to start. So I guess I can just continue ranting. I don't even know. Gosh, it's been so long since I recorded, and honestly, as I'm recording this, I've had such a busy day. There's a lot in my brain. I feel kind of foggy, if I'm being real. But the way I've wanted to record just like this for so long, oh my God, I can't even tell you. Like, I have so many stories and lessons and tips and topics to just talk about. And I am so happy to be here. Holy crap. Like, I, so like I said, I broke two cameras on the journey here, okay? To be able to sit right here, the amount of crying, frustrating moments, um, deep conversations, losses, failures, mistakes, trials and tribulations, bumps in the road, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the amount of all that I have been through will actually blow your mind. So yeah, I'm very grateful you clicked on this video, and I'm very grateful if you've been listening for a while, thank you, or if you've been watching for a while, thank you. I know since I uploaded a last YouTube video, which, if you are listening to the audio version of my podcast right now, I highly recommend joining the YouTube channel community, which will be linked in the show notes as well, of course. But thank you if you've been here for a while or if you're new. I really, really appreciate it. I really value authenticity and showing up how I am, and oh my god, the amount of lessons I have learned along this journey of like finally being able to record that have centered around just going with the flow and fighting my like perfectionism. Oh my god, it's been a crazy, crazy journey that I'm so excited to just have a platform to talk about and a growing platform to talk about. I'm so just grateful. I'm just grateful. Okay? Holla fucking Lula. Lula? Yeah, exactly. See, that's where I'm at right now. So, okay. Anyway, I'm so happy to be here. This is so cool. I'm just gonna start updating you guys, and then we'll get into the actual episode of today. I have a few episodes already recorded and ready to show you guys, so that's why I am coming back to YouTube with a Divine Gossip podcast episode and not ghost hunting quite yet, because I already have these recorded, and today's guest is amazing. We will get to her. But it's just been so long since I have talked to you one on one, I feel like. So I just wanted to chat first, if that's cool with you. Um, so yeah, I don't even know when the last time I uploaded a YouTube video was, but I know it's been months and so much has changed since then. We're in 2026, full swing. I'm just gonna start blurting things out. Who fucking cares, right? I don't know. It's an update. This is an update rant. I have amazing friends. Business is going great. My marketing job is going great. School, I have a year left until I graduate. That is going fine. It's just kind of like in my way, I feel like. But I'm learning. I'm getting a degree. It is what it is. I'm just kind of getting through it until I graduate. You know what I mean? But ODU is great. I go to ODU here in Virginia, if you don't know, and it's great. It's just it is what it is, you know. So that's trugging along, trucking along. Um, I have been so busy just focused on working in my health and my relationships in my life. Me and my boyfriend Braden are doing fabulous. Love him very much. Um, my best friend Megan, owner of the Holistic Tree House, that's all booming and doing amazing, which is so cool. My other best friends, close friends, are all doing well, and I'm so grateful for them. My community of people are doing great, and that's been awesome. Um, yeah, and my business is changing so much. I have really been focused on like growing my gifts and trying to figure out what I want in like long term, what my business, what I want to grow in my business. And I've really come to the conclusion that I am a medium. I am a seer, a psychic, an intuitive. I love the paranormal. I love teaching. And I think YouTube is the perfect platform for me to do that on. So there are lots of ghost adventures, no pun intended, love that show. Lots of ghost adventures planned for the rest of this year that I can finally actually film and do amazing at. The viewfinder is right here, so if I'm not looking at the camera lens, I'm sorry. I'm just getting used to like not checking myself out every 5 seconds. I'm sorry. Um, so anyway, there's lots of good episodes coming out of the podcast and a lot of great paranormal journeys on the horizon for me to edit and film with all my people. And yeah, I'm just super excited about how everything's growing. But I've gone through so much. Like I've traveled so much just since I've uploaded on YouTube last, or since I've talked to you guys last. I feel like if I'm not recording for YouTube, I'm not getting very personal with my audience, with you all, because it's hard to do that on Instagram or like the other social media platforms. So I'm just glad to be back. I'm glad to just be rambling and ranting with you all. You know what I mean? So obviously this isn't a very structured intro. I also not sure how I feel about the new intro and outro I filmed on my now broken camera. If you watched the last episode of Divine Gossip on YouTube, you could see that I filmed a new intro and outro. I like the audio version of it. I like everything I'm saying. I just don't like the way I filmed it on that camera. So, that's why I wanted to film a new intro and outro on this episode, and I probably will continue to do so. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I'm just kind of playing around right now. Like, I have learned, God, I cannot emphasize enough how much I have learned about just riding the wave, playing, getting out of your own way, letting go of perfectionism, letting go of those like hard expectations you set on yourself. Because, God, just if that's getting in the way of doing what you love, trust me, it's not doing you any good to like overthink it anymore. Like that's what I've learned. So I'm just here, I'm showing up. I'm I'm just ready to continue to film. And I'm so excited to have this camera now to film for my courses as well. My courses are being built. I am currently creating and uploading in real time for my students the tarot mastery course. Teaching tarot has been so fun. Ugh. I just have so much to talk to you guys about, and the videos will continue from here on out. I am happy to say that. So, I mean, the fact that I can just whip this thing, like literally, if you saw my setup right now, it's so like easy. It's just easy. And the last one was not fucking easy. So, thank you for being here. Today's episode is with Jennie of Hex and Hair. She is, I give her an intro already in the episode, but we talk a lot about interesting topics regarding glamour magic and self esteem and physical appearance, being a witch. I ask her some really cool questions that I know along my self love journey have been on my mind. So, the value she brings in today's episode is really awesome. And she has a really good heart. She's a really, really kind soul. And I've been so lucky to know her. I feel like I don't remember when I met her, but I know it was last year sometime. And I don't remember exactly the first time I met her, but basically, we live in the same area. We both teach and create awesome things at the Holistic Treehouse in Chesapeake, Virginia, which you guys know has been my place for all my in person events, my in person readings, just my local stuff I do here. That's definitely like my center of that. And she's the other witch and tarot reader and medium and intuitive and teacher at the treehouse who we really vibe because we're into the same things and we both work with goddess Hecate and we vibe. So she's become a really good friend of mine and I'm very happy to share her with you guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. There will be no outro because does there really need to be? Unless I find a way. No, not today, not this episode. Go with the flow, y'all. Okay, okay. I'm doing it. I'm trying. Okay. um, but yeah, things are probably gonna change every video. As I figure things out and get better and better, and that's okay. So I guess today's intro message for this episode is you don't have to have everything figured out to get started. The clarity comes when you move, not before you move. So anyway, let's get into all things witchy, magic, feminine energy, confidence, self-esteem, and let's learn about Jennie because she has a lot to share. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. I love you. Okay, I will see you in the next video slash episode slash thing I do. Okay, bye. Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Divine Gossip Podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking on my video or my podcast. I appreciate it. I have an incredible, beautiful guest on that I'm so excited to have on. We have Jennie Tack here. Jennie is a lifelong witch and intuitive guide who blends spiritual insight with beauty alchemy. So cool. And through her business, Hex and Hair in Chesapeake, Virginia, here where we also work together at the Holistic Treehouse. So in Chesapeake, Virginia, she offers tarot readings. So she's a tarot reader. She does guided rituals. She's a witch. She does one-on-one classes. We held an incredible working with Hecate class together a while back, which was an honor and so fun. And she also offers transformative hair services that are designed to help clients feel empowered inside and out. So beautiful. And she's so passionate about teaching and ever growing in her own practice. Jennie creates welcoming spaces for learning, healing, and self expression, which again, I have had the honor to experience. And her tiny familiar Milo, which you may see on the podcast today, often accompanies her. He is the sweetest. He's become the treehouse dog, which I love. He's so cute. Welcome.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, it's always funny because sometimes I'll show up and people are like, "Where's Milo?" And like they don't even ask about my husband. They're like, "Where's Milo? Come here."
Or you. They're just immediately like, "Where's Milo?"
Yeah. But
He's
that's okay because he's the sweetest boy ever. So come here.
so sweet. Milo, grace us with your presence.
He's concerned because now my cat's trying to get in.
Oh my God, I literally forget you have cats. How many cats do you have?
Well, now I have two.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Um,
forgot about that.
just
I'm sorry.
yeah, it's okay. I had three. I mean, she's still here. She's just on the bookshelf. Nope, that's dark
Hey,
humor.
me too. Me too. I have it on
Um,
the bookshelf as well, so I get it. Baby. Hi, little boy. He's so sweet. Normally he has pajamas on or a little outfit, but he's naked today.
yeah, he's at home. He's relaxing.
He's so sweet. I love him. How are you today? How are things?
Good. I'm the lunar eclipse and full moon energy was a little crazy.
Oh my
Um, but I think we're moving out of that. We're still kind of in the shadow period, but I woke up feeling pretty good today. So
God.
I listened to some high frequency music, getting ready. So
Good.
I'm good.
I'm so excited to talk to you about your glamour magic side of things. I find it so interesting. I've never like I don't actually never, not never, because I have done a little glamour ritual with you at the treehouse for their 1 year thing, I think it was. But I haven't really focused it on in my own practice, like specifically doing glamour rituals. I mean, I've done like, I guess I have actually. I just don't call it that, I guess, because I've done self-love candle spells and stuff like that. So I've done that, but oh my God, I have so many questions. Like, how did you, I feel like glamour magic was the first thing I saw about you, like on your profiles and stuff. Is that true? Like,
Yeah.
is that the first thing that, because you do hair, so that kind of started
Yeah.
probably.
I think, I'm sorry, I'm just going to move this
You're fine.
incense because it's a little crazy. It like keeps coming straight for us.
I know, I see it's a lot of smoke.
Yeah. I might even put it out, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Okay. So I think Glamour Magic was the first thing that made sense to like soft launch my witchcraft into my business. I mean, I guess I would say that was probably a focus of mine. Cause I mean, I started in middle school. So, I mean, and I had come from a time where I was really bullied. And so I did a lot of stuff like I just want to be pretty and making sigils and, bathroom mirror spells, drawing sigils in the steam on the bathroom mirror after taking a shower and like those kinds of things. So that I guess that kind of is where I started a bit, but there was also a lot of other workings I was doing because there was a lot to my young life. I guess I can go kind of back and they did happen simultaneously. My beauty career while I was also like in the beginnings of learning about witchcraft. Cause like my parents really encouraged me to find my own spiritual path. My mom was a Buddhist. My dad was a Methodist, but I think that was just kind of like his spiritual path of choice because of his recovery, and AA and stuff. They want, higher power, but they were both like, it's a really personal choice. So you should, look into things and make your own decisions. So, um, that's what I did. And also at the same kind of juncture in life, I tried out for cheerleading out of spite, because a bully told me that I was too fat and ugly to be a cheerleader. And so I made it as a cheerleader. And
Wait,
when,
wait, I am so obsessed with you. You tried out of spite. I love you. That
yeah,
is
like
sick.
it was one of the, like, I was bullied a lot. I was pudgy. There's a lot. And it was also the 90s, early 2000s, but this was kind of 90s. And so, I made it. And in doing so, I reconnected with a lady who was my brownie troop leader when I was much younger. And she was in cosmetology school while she was my brownie troop leader. And she would practice on my mom and stuff. Well, by this time, she now owned a salon. So when I reconnected with her through that, because her daughters were cheerleaders as well, I was like, oh my God, can I come work at your salon? Like, I want to come work in your salon. I was, of course, obsessed with the idea of feeling better, like feeling more pretty, you know? And also I really liked her just from being my brownie troop leader. So she was like, yeah, of course. Like she knew that my situation at home was not the best always. So it was good for me to have something kind of constructive to do. So I would like once a week I would walk over. My middle school was kind of like right across the street. And I would walk over to her salon on Wednesdays and, you know, I would sweep and I would like clean, and I eventually like started like helping shampoo or, you know, little things. Um, but it was like the first day she was like, let's wax your eyebrows. Cause I had a major unibrow that I got made fun of a lot. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then, you know, she eventually like showed me how to do my hair and gave me highlights. And suddenly I like my grades improved. I like people were noticing that something was different about me. And I changed, I think, on a spiritual level. And I noticed how people responded to me differently. And I think that was more about the confidence I was walking in than it was actually about how I looked, like physically. Excuse me. But, and so when I was in that space, I also noticed how people would like come in and, they would be one way and, you know, rushing in, getting to their appointment, sitting down. They would have this interaction and get into like deep conversations and this kind of really special experience. And by the time they left, they walked different, they talked different, they were looking in the mirror, they were smiling. This was before selfies, so that wasn't like a thing, but it was definitely like nowadays as a hairstylist, you know, someone's feeling themselves, and it's the best feeling ever when you watch them as they're leaving and they stop to like take selfies, and that, you know, like it's so rewarding. But I noticed that, and I wanted to have that kind of impact on people. So that's like, I knew very early what I wanted to do. So this spiritual awakening and this passion for the beauty industry kind of happened simultaneously. So I guess that's a long way of answering that. Yeah, in a roundabout way, Glamour Magick really kind of was always there, rooted in my practice. And so when I started my own business, finally, after about 14 years behind the chair professionally, working for other people's businesses, and I finally was like, I get to make a business that like reflects me. And when I started my business, there were a lot of other life things happening simultaneously too. But I felt like the easiest or the best way to kind of soft launch going into the witchery of it all, coming out of the broom closet publicly, was to talk about Glamour Magick or incorporate Glamour Magick. Because I already was decorating my space with crystals and stuff. Like it was not a far stretch. It wasn't like a surprise, I think, to most people. But just to start using the verbiage, I know some people, you know, the witch wound is real. So I think that was a fun, soft way to ease people into it.
Wow, thank you for like telling me all that, because I had no idea. That's a beautiful story. What a rewarding and fulfilling purpose you have. I love talking to people that have a purpose like similar to mine, I guess. I feel like when I started realizing that I had psychic abilities, and now clients come to me and they're like, you know, I can start to see them flourish into their psychic abilities, and then they leave being like shocking themselves, you know what I mean? Just seeing that transformation in people is so like that's our purpose in this life. Like, duh. You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
just feels so good. And I love that. I have a million questions. Okay. So I really related to your story talking about like getting the part of your story where you're talking about getting bullied a lot. I was bullied a lot as well. I was like a little chubby kid, super shy. I had a goofy laugh, still do. And like, I don't know. I got picked on a lot for being fat and was told a lot that I can't do certain things because I'm in a bigger body and whatever, and I've had to work through that a lot. And um a couple years ago, I started to really, really focus on my health and like start moving a lot more and walking and strength training and focusing on my nutrition and doing it in a very balanced, like healthy way and not like an extreme way. Luckily, I didn't have like, I don't know, I kind of did the spiritual healing on all of that first and then kind of introduced the physical, so I didn't get too extreme with it all. But now that focusing on my health and my body in a physical way is a big part of my life. Ever since I started taking that seriously, I have made more money than ever. I have more success. I have more clients. I get more compliments. I have a hot boyfriend who's obsessed with me. Like I'm surrounded by people that it's crazy. I'm very interested to hear like your opinion on the psychology behind that, because to me when I started getting losing weight and focusing on my health, it wasn't for like looks. It was because I felt like shit, so I wanted to feel better. And as I did that, I got more compliments on my looks, and I feel like I got like there's parts of me who that felt like, oh, like y'all weren't giving me these compliments when I was fatter though, so fuck you. Like I kind of get a little bitter about it still, because I'm like, why am I being treated differently because I'm more like traditionally pretty or whatever the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is your opinion
Yeah.
on that?
Well, I've been all sorts of sizes. I was almost 300 pounds at one point, when I was like in a really low mental
Yeah.
health space. And I've been everywhere from 145 to 300. So,
Mhm.
I mean,
Same.
I'm
Same.
constantly fluctuating, and I'm a woman, so that's going to
Mhm.
happen. But I do notice people treat you differently, and it's something people don't talk about a lot, or I think things are getting better. People talking about it more. Sorry, I'm watching Milo run around in front of me.
Okay.
Um, and, but I definitely, what?
What's he yelling at?
There's nothing on there for, he's looking up at my altar like he wants something up there.
Or there's a ghost.
Is there a ghost in here? Oh, you want to
Milo's
get to the
also a
window.
ghost detector. Oh.
He likes to sit in the window in the sunshine.
You guys, look how pretty Jenny's meditation spot is. It's so pretty. I'm obsessed with it. Really want it. I'm gonna tell my mom that I'm gonna build one.
Don't bark at people passing by, please. We may have a couple barks to mute out, but
It's okay. I probably won't mute it out. I like moments like this. It's like more natural, like they're hanging out with us.
yeah. Um, it's my little boy. But yeah, what I was saying is like I've noticed like people do treat you differently, from like letting the door close on you, like you become very invisible,
Oh my God.
or
No, that's such a good point. Men hit on me more, and men are like, they get up and do things for me more. Like if I'm like, oh, I'm thirsty, they're just like, oh, can I get you water? Like it's just like attention is more on me, and I'm just like, sure. Like it's so different. Anyway, thank you for
yeah,
saying that, because I haven't ever like told anyone I see that difference now, but I do.
yeah. And I mean, there's a lot that happens, you get medically gaslit, you get, like I could go to and I have gone to the doctor and them not take me seriously and then lose weight. And also people treating you like your weight loss is the biggest accomplishment that you ever, like, I'm sorry, Adele, when she lost all her weight, everybody was like, go Adele, what an accomplishment. I'm like, you're talking about a like multi-time Grammy award winning, like multiple different award winning,
Yes.
so many albums, so talented lyricist.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
She's doing other things other than losing weight, guys.
Yeah, like, and her weight loss is like one of her biggest accomplishments. I don't think so. I
Crazy.
beg to differ.
Yeah.
But I get really heated about this topic because it ties a lot to my insecurities. But yeah, I was bullied for my weight. I was bullied for my weird clothes because I grew up poor, so we had to go to the thrift store. And I always have kind of had a weird sense of fashion, anyways. I have leaned into that as I've gotten older because now it's like, oh, it's my sense of style. It makes me unique. I don't want to fit in anyways. Like, I don't need to be like, I remember working in the salon and them being like, you need to work on your professional image. And I'm like, I'm not going to wear a maxi dress or you know what I mean? I'm not going to wear Ugg boots, or I'm not a soccer mom. I'm not going to look like Becky. I'm not. Like, it just isn't who I am. I'm tattooed. I have piercings. I'm a gay witch. This is what I'm saying in my insides. I'm LGBT. So many more things that, like, it would feel so inauthentic to dress in your Pinterest board so that I fit in the salon. Like, and that was the professional image. Like, I was less successful in those salons when I was forced into that box, because I didn't feel good about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've even had, at the last salon that I was a commission stylist at, the owner would make comments about my weight, or say, oh, you're, to one girl, she said, oh, I think you're getting a little too big to be able to wear leggings as pants now. So you're going to have to start figuring something else out. And one time, like, I was sitting, one time I was sitting in the break room, having my lunch in the break room by myself. And she walks around the corner and pinches my fat, because my shirt had come up a little bit, and grabbed me, put her hands on me, and was like, you should not be showing that. And I was like, first of all, that was not intentional. Second of all, don't put your fracking hands on me. It was
That's
not, and the people feel entitled to do that to women, to bigger people. It's just a thing.
yeah.
So, but yeah, again, going back to body image, but it's just a huge part of what women, what people deal with, now, but, anywho, when you don't feel good about yourself, it makes a difference. And like you said, doing all that healthy stuff, that's what made you feel confident and you felt stronger in your body. So you probably presented differently. But like, say there's other things that people can like invest in themselves that make them feel good too. There's actually studies, and I don't have the exact stats in front of me. So I won't like put out wrong information, but the result of the studies were that, women who regularly get their hair done, are more financially successful. They tend to make more money, have more high-powered jobs, get more promotions, things of this nature, because they're moving with confidence. They're taking the time to do the things to make sure that they feel good about themselves and how they present. And there's a lot of psychology behind that moving with confidence, it just makes things come to you more. It changes your energy.
Yeah. And yeah, because you can say it's like,
Milo.
It's psychology, but it's also like, obviously, as you know, energy, and
Yeah,
like it's the same thing. Like it,
hand in hand.
yeah, absolutely. I'm curious to know, like, do you, obviously, I know the answer to this, but I want to hear your thoughts on like how people can achieve that confidence without doing physical things, or do you feel like that is a little bit required?
No, I don't think it's required. I think that, and I don't think everybody sees glamour magic this way, and everybody's practice is different.
Okay.
But for me, glamour magic starts with um, believing that you can be beautiful, believing that you are beautiful, believing that there's more things that are important about you that shine out and radiate that beauty. Because, like, have you ever met somebody and they're outside gorgeous, like a man that's, very attractive, and then he opens his mouth and you're like, you're not cute anymore. Or like a really pretty girl who, like, she's gorgeous, but then she's like super mean, and you're like, I don't actually see you that way anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So Milo, there's somebody walking their dog outside of our apartment.
He's so scary.
Yes, good boy. Thank you for telling me. Sometimes that makes him chill out. He's like, I just had to tell you, Mom.
Just doing my job, lady.
Yeah. He's like, I'm alert the news. There's a poodle outside.
Oh God.
High chances of poop in our yard.
Not good.
But so I lost my train of thought a
I
little
know,
bit.
I lost your train of thought as well. Oh, like, okay, I agree with what
Oh
you're
yeah.
saying. The mean girl thing, even if she's gorgeous, same thing with boys.
Hey.
Like my boyfriend, I'm like, this is a little toxic. I'm working on it. Okay, I promise. But if we're watching reality TV and there's a beautiful girl on screen, I'm like, she's so pretty, right? Just to see what he would say. And then he'll be like, yeah, she's pretty, but that can only get her so far. She's fucking crazy too. I'm like, okay, so like, that can only get you so far, man. I think I started working on not working, but being more intentional about my physical appearance once I started to believe that like I deserve to be taken care of physically, and like I I've always known and believed about myself that I'm ambitious. I have potential. I have successful ideas. I have passion. You know, I have those qualities just inherently. So why wouldn't I be taking care of myself like I am that woman? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of my belief system there. And then it kind of just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that when you realize, or you start to garner your self-worth, you put more stock in doing things for you and what makes you feel good. And a lot of times, like, I have clients who come in, and this comes up around like whether they should keep their hair gray or not, whether they should cut their hair, their boyfriend likes their hair long, or what color should they do. And my answer is, well, always, or like, people ask like, what would look best on me? And to me, what looks best on everybody is confidence. So, what makes you feel beautiful is what I ask them. And sometimes it takes a second. And they're like, I'm not sure. And so then we go through some things like, okay, what do you like about your face? Like, what do you like about your style? And turning it that way, instead of trying to fix problems, but think about the things that they like, it kind of helps, like, them own their style too. It gives you that sovereignty. That's something I think that's really great. Like, that's why people, when they go through a big change in life and they need to like cut their hair or change their hair, it gives you a sense of liberation. So it starts with confidence.
Yeah.
And so that's why my particular brand of Glamour Magic is that that you have to start, or not have to, but I recommend that you start with affirmations. You start with some self-love work. You start with a little bit of shadow work. Like, in my shadow work episode on my podcast, I talk about, I get kind of vulnerable and I talk about a situation that I realized was stemming from jealousy and insecurity. And like, you know, when you start looking at those things and start working on that inside, it's easier to everything falls into place, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't that so crazy that women, when they're asked what they want and what they like, we just don't even know because we've been doing it for other people for so long. How can people start to like have that sovereignty or like empowerment from the inside? Because I feel like there's a difference between doing things for yourself out of empowerment and then for yourself out of like self-hatred and insecurity or for other people. You know what I mean? Like I guess I mean, for me, I try to always, before I take any action, like ask myself why I'm doing it. Is it for, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
self-reflection is probably good for that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, there's nothing wrong also with like, I mean, like my husband loves this color on me, so I'm going to wear it. Like that might be like out of love or something, but feeling like you have to do it, even if you don't want to do it, is a different story. And what that does is once you consistently, kind of betray your own autonomy, it creates this like awful like shame and guilt and then not knowing like a lot of times people, when you ask them to tell them about themselves, they'll tell you about their relations to others. Like one of the a big moment for me when I was working with a friend on shadow work, and she was like, so tell me about Jennie. And I listed a bunch of stuff, and she was like, so this is all things that you do for others or is a relational thing, but like this is not like who you are, like what you do. And I had to be like, okay, yeah, uh-huh, let's think about that for a minute, so um but yeah, I think that first the inside is so much more important.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And obviously those wounds can be years
Yeah.
before you feel kind of like the opposite of that. But I mean, I'm sure even as a glamour witch and someone who has done this work for years and years, you have days where
Oh yeah. No, it's not. I don't think that there's ever with any journey. Oop, I don't think with any journey that there's ever like a completion. Like I think it's just we're meant to keep learning and evolving and adding tools to our tool belt and learning some lessons. And the point isn't to be fully healed because we're human and we're going to have these thoughts and we're going to have times where we question ourselves or feel bad about ourselves, especially those of us who menstruate and have like these hormonal cycles where we feel bloated and our brain chemistry is telling us like we didn't make a like not literally we didn't make a baby, but like if you didn't create a baby, the hormones dump and then now you feel like a failure and you can't explain why, and you start beating yourself up and like all this stuff, right? So these things just are going to happen as a human. And so the goal is not necessarily to never deal with it. The goal is I have these things that I can do for myself to support me in those times. I can make those times less impactful and feel less like solid truth. I can move through them more gracefully and I could be nicer to myself. I have these things to hold me up when I'm having the hard time.
yeah, so you don't go into a deep dark hole for a long period of time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's similar with grief. It's similar with, like as somebody who's neurodivergent, with ADHD, and now I'm in the midst of assessment of, potentially autism as well. but doing all those tests. But it's like the way that my brain works is that doesn't go away. You just learn coping skills on how to, so and like I said, like with grief, and there's lots of aspects of life where like the challenges don't the goal isn't to stop the challenge. The goal is to learn to work with the challenge, to not fight against the current, to be able to ride the current in a more safe and healthy way.
I love that. Absolutely. That's like a daily reminder that I need. Like, having human emotions is totally normal, especially as a woman. I think like the foundation of one of the foundational pieces of self-empowerment and self-love and like learning to take care of yourself out of love is learning your cycle, like you said, like learning your phases of your cycle as a woman. If you're fertile and either way, no matter what phase of life you're in, if you're menopausal or whatever, like, oh my God, hormones play such a huge part in that. And I always used to think that like, oh, because and then it goes back to always remembering that there's like you're a human, but you're also a spiritual, energetic being. Like you have human factors to you, but you also have tools that are energetic and spiritual that you can use to kind of work through the humanness of life, you know? So I love that.
Yeah.
Um, and then do you also think that like, because another aspect of glamour magic to me, or maybe it's not glamour magic, but like sexuality and sex magic and stuff like that. I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube. Hopefully.
I don't, I think you can. I don't know.
Let's see. I guess we'll see. Either way, it's not mine.
We could talk, I mean, we can talk about like intimacy magic if it
Do that.
is, yeah. So I think intimacy, well, my personal take on intimacy magic is a little bit different than glamour magic. But I mean, I can see how they can go hand in hand, if you're
Or
doing things.
yeah, or just like a woman's sensuality or feeling attractive or like
Yeah.
your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can go hand in hand because it's not just the inner work stuff too, because that stuff is foundational and it is really good, a good place to start. But you can also do all the fun things with it too, like the oils that you put on that you've enchanted with an intention, and you rub it on and you think about you even tell it what it's going to do. And it's like, you're going to draw my partner to me. You're going to make him want me, using pheromone things, or even just enchanting things with your own power. So that can go into intimacy magic, um, and enhancing those things. But I think that there's probably a line where it crosses over. Am I anyone to say who the line is? No, it's person to person. But I do think that it can kind of go hand in hand, because if you're thinking about using energy, using magic and your energy and your how you present to get the things that you are desiring, I think that is also going to kind of innately eventually lead into that subject as well, because humans are beings who crave intimacy, and physical relationships are commonplace, and it's a part of the whole thing, right? Like lust and all of that. Some of the reason why in our heads we want to be beautiful is so that we can like have our mate recognize us like biologically, so that we can do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. So
Yes, absolutely. And I know you said, I feel like that there's different levels maybe to having a glamour magic practice then, because you're right. I think the foundational pieces are definitely your self-worth and your self-love and esteem and all those things, and your personal practice. So when you say, and then it can go into, manifesting with that energy and whatever. But Um, you said starting with affirmations would be great. And I think I agree with that because starting with affirmations, I think starts to change your mindset. And when you change your mindset, you start to change your beliefs, and then you change, your actions and all that. And anyway, my question is, besides affirmations, what are the other things you started with to go on this journey of like a more advanced rituals and intimacy magic and all that? Like, what did you start with?
Um, I think it was, I think like I think they go hand in hand. Like you can do both
Okay.
at the same time, right? So
Okay.
like the foundational stuff is important, but you can also play around with the other stuff. Or I don't want to say play, like um, belittling or taking away from the power of it, because it is powerful. But you can do the more things that feel more witchy and not like shadow work or that like, soul work too. At, hand in hand. You don't have to, at least in my opinion, I don't think you have to like go through this long, arduous process before you can start doing things with perfume and makeup
Okay.
and skincare and weaving magic and intention into all these things. I think part of being a witch inherently is that you're kind of weaving magic into all parts of your life. Just it's all about intention, right? So it's developing
Yeah.
that mindfulness and
Yeah.
intention.
Yeah, because I think
Um,
even with like candle spells and stuff, when I first started with just witchcraft in general, I was doing everything all at once as I was learning. So you're right. Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
Anyway.
and I think as you're doing the foundational work, you just find your power more, and you feel the magic more effectively. Um, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with just getting started. I think everyone is inherently magical, and just try some things and see, like look, tell your perfume like, you know, you're going to make me magnetic. Everybody's going to be drawn to me before putting it on. I have a perfume bottle that I write sigils on, my favorite perfume, or I have certain perfumes that I wear for certain things, and I'll draw sigils and whatever, or like, they have those like energy codes, numbers for abundance or whatever. I've tried those, put them on the bottle. So and make just putting on your fragrance. I think fragrance is a huge tool that people can use right away, because when you smell it and you feel it and it starts in your brain, like making that signal in your brain, almost like Pavloving yourself into believing. Um, so, but yeah, I think that those things you can do along with those. I think I started more like when practicing glamour magic. It's hard because it's been so long, but I did really start with the outside stuff because my brain wasn't even fully developed. I hadn't even started my period yet. You know what I mean? Like, when I started like wanting to do things to be more beautiful. So I remember like taking baths and like kind of putting the intention in the water that like you're going to wash away my ugly, and when I get out of this bath I'm going to be a beautiful goddess, like, and just hoping and hoping so much that I could just be beautiful. And do I think that had anything to do with my glow up that did eventually happen? I don't know. It could have just been life's paths coming together and how I was supposed to learn. It all just feels very synchronistic. Um, but it did make me feel better in that moment, and that matters. It gave me hope that everything, I wasn't always going to feel this way about myself. But and then like, I think a lot of people practice glamour magic and they don't even realize it. Like, have you ever been in a room with your girlies getting ready to go out? You have high vibration music going on. You're putting your makeup, you're hyping each other up, and the energy is just different with those things. It just, especially when you have a group of women in a room, or feminine energy in a room, um, together, for that common, we're all it's like spell work, we're putting on our war paint, our foundation to go out. We have a goal for the night. And so I think that we do glamour magic inherently. And I think that's with a lot of things, like things that we do now were once considered witchcraft, or like, that meme that's like, what is something that would make a Victorian boy like lose it or, fall
Yeah.
out or
Yeah.
whatever. So, but so many things that we do are magical.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have like I don't know what to call it, like I feel like I can see you like waking up in the morning and like what every time I see you, you have like makeup on, you smell good, you're have incredible jewelry on, you know yourself very well, like you have a presence about you that's very confident. You do.
Thank
And
you.
you're welcome. And I'm wondering, like, is there something every day that obviously you're not doing like full on rituals like every day, but
Yeah.
you have little practices every day that anchor that identity in you?
Yeah. I mean, when it's like almost like now it's kind of instinctual.
Yeah.
But it developed over time. Something that's very, very important to me and has been for a long time is I have to have a vanity space. Like, even when like I lived in a little studio apartment that was like a 2-car garage turned into a studio apartment, um, in someone's house, there was a bathroom and then no other rooms, but I turned this like little corner with a TV tray and a mirror and some lights into my vanity, because I think that it is so important to have a place that I sit down with the intention of getting ready for my day.
Yeah.
And so like when it's time, whatever I'm feeling that day, sometimes it'll be music. Very rarely now is it music, but sometimes if I need that, like today I was listening to, Ring My Bell by Anita Ward, because that song, I can get into the magic behind that song. They won't even play that song in casinos because it's such high vibration. Yeah. So
What?
it really raises your vibration. So the music that you listen to while you're getting ready and stuff.
Hmm.
But also I'm in a season of like growth and the stuff that's going on in my life right now. I tend to put on podcasts, audiobooks, things like that to feel like I'm feeding my soul while I'm getting ready. Something to help me like just zone out and get in the zone.
Yeah.
Um, and then I do my makeup, and I try to focus on like just enhancing the things that I like on my face. I used to be like a always full face girly, like lashes. I was very much way more into the makeup. But now it looks more like applying skincare, and I'm moisturizing. And as I'm moisturizing, I'm thinking about, just the water in my body that's helping carry emotion and things like that. And, you can just, it starts to become routine. So you don't really think about it while you're doing it, but it looks more like, to me, skincare, and then, foundation, and, doing my little makeup. And then I always, before I leave the house, I pick out a spray that like, what does my vibe feel like today? Or what do I want to attract? Or if it's one that has a sigil on it, or, I just kind of pick by that. And,
Sorry to interrupt you real quick, but for people who don't know, can you explain what sigils are?
yeah, so sigils are essentially, they are symbols, or pictures, or they're imbued with power, so they are almost like a little, like a spell as a picture.
Hmm.
So you can create them yourself. There are sigil generators online. You can use Nordic runes, that are out there. There's like lots of different ways, but really, honestly, if you just put a couple words, or if you just draw a little picture and it means something to you, that can be a sigil for you. Like there's a lot of creators out there that are like, this is how you make sigils. You have to do it this way or whatever. No, it's witchcraft to me is not like that. It's what feels powerful to you can be your practice. So if you want to draw a flower, or you want to draw you have one that you want it to like make you feel sensual, and you want to just draw a vagina on it because that is feminine power to you. Like, you know, that can be a sigil. So it's just like a little spell as a picture that you've put energy into.
Beautiful explanation. Yep, exactly. For reference, I have sigils on my windows that mean my family is protected and stuff like that. And I have some, where else? What you normally keep one in my phone case too. Yeah, so you can put them anywhere. Thank you for
Yeah.
explaining, just in case.
Yeah.
How many perfumes do you have?
I'm looking over near my vanity right now. I know I have like 3 in the bathroom. 1, 2, 3, 4, like 10.
That's so cool.
I don't wear all of them. I also do Scentbird, like non-spawn, but I do like Scentbird because you know, what you want might change, or you might like something that you didn't know you liked, or, you know, the different notes. Like, I like looking at the notes in a perfume, because like perfumers they are so enchanted with their work, and picking out notes to put together for them is like, perfumers are passionate people. And so paying attention to the notes. Now, if I don't like the way it smells, like sometimes I might just use like it in a ritual and, you know, maybe not wear it out all the time. Also, my poor hubby is very sensitive to smells. So like, if we're doing something together, I try to be more mindful about like something that's just like a little softer. But paying attention to the notes in the perfume. And also, I've found that in different seasons of my life, like I've had one signature perfume, and then or like a type of scent that I really like. Like, in my early 20s, it was very like floral, magic, like floral, sweet, sometimes even like candy, you know, it was that vibe. I mean, I wore Dolce by Dolce and Gabbana for a long time. Like, I remember wearing, when I was in high school, it was Curious by Britney Spears, was my shit. Love Spell, Victoria's Secret Love Spell. So like, you know, there was that floral sweet era, but as I've been in my 30s, in this new era that I've been in, I've been so obsessed with like amber, vanilla, sandalwood. I used to be like, I don't like gourmand, and now I'm a gourmand girly. Like, there's something about, like, I inherently crave that scent and want to smell like that. So I have been thinking about that a lot and wanting to like dig into that and see what that might mean.
Yeah. I get the most compliments when I wear vanilla, and I only wear vanilla. You always smell like vanilla. I knew you were gonna say that, but I only wear vanilla a little bit. I like I wear the one that's my favorite right now is Dolce. One of their Dolce ones. It's like a light pink one. I forget the name, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you should look into the notes and see what the magical meanings behind the notes of that perfume are, and see what that might mean to why that like resonates with you.
Okay.
I mean, it's something that like I haven't dove as deep as I want to. I want to go down a rabbit hole. It's like, perfume is one of like those fixations for me that like when I get on it, I want to like just read. But it's definitely an area of study in my craft that I have thought about really getting into, because the more I think about it, the more connections and how you can go deep with it if you want to. But yeah, so I think perfume is a great place to start.
And I feel like what you wear is a huge part of how you feel. I've been trying to be more intentional about that, because I feel like even when I I would say like a year ago, I would just wear clothes to just literally just throw on clothes for the day, but now if I'm more intentional about it, I can feel like my whole outfit is like making me feel way more confident and comfortable and cute, and it's so interesting. It's interesting how, like, I don't know, because some people may call it vanity or something, caring about how you look, but I don't think it's coming from that place all the time, you know? Like,
well, and even if it is, is that a bad thing? Like, according to who is that a bad thing? Like,
Right.
we've been inherently taught to feel ashamed or guilty of feeling confident, right? And
Yeah.
I think that's a power thing. I think that's a whole conversation in itself. But there's a difference too between dressing for other people and dressing for yourself, and doing things for out of insecurity, and doing things out of self-love. Like, I think that it appears different, so you can tell almost, at least those of us who are like energetically sensitive, I feel like I can tell when somebody is doing something that comes from a place of insecurity and a place of wanting to be seen to fill a void,
Yeah.
versus a place of um, doing something because it feels authentic and good to them.
Yeah.
And and it can be looked at as vanity, but it can go lots of different ways. Like, my style has changed a lot this past summer. I'm wearing a t-shirt right now that says I Dissent, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Love that girl.
Love that.
um but my whole thing this past summer was, I'm going to wear snarky t-shirts that show where I stand kind of politically. So there's no question about who I am. So people who need to know who's a safe person in a room will know that I'm a safe person. And people who know that I'm not about their bullshit, I'm not about their bull stuff,
Mhm.
um, are, are going to know that as well. And so that felt like powerful to me. A more stripped down and using my clothing as almost a shield, or as like a protection spell, or something.
Yeah.
Veiling is a big part of protection and in what you wear. And that can be like having your hair up, putting clips in your hair. You can do it with intention, as like, this is a protection of my crown, of my energy. I'm veiling this. That's the intention of it. I used to
Yeah.
wear bows all the time.
I
Or
wore a
like wearing,
hat. I wore a hat
I
the
wore
other
a hat.
day to dinner for the first time, and my mom has always tried to make me wear hats, and I hate them because I have such a circle face, and I feel like with the hat, I don't know, whatever. I just didn't like how I looked in them. Then I put a hat on the other day, and I was like, oh wait, this feels cute. And I felt like so relaxed because being like sensitive psychic, my third eye, my crown is just like wide fucking open all the time, and sometimes it can get really exhausting. So putting a hat on, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm more in my body and in my own little world here instead of just being so like open to other energy. So I have discovered hats being very helpful for veiling. Yeah, just wanted
I
to add.
have like every color bandana, because I will use bandanas as a veil. And if you're not covering your whole head, if you're setting the intention in that object as being your veil, and like using it as a headband or whatever, or sometimes I do cover my whole head, depending on the situation. But yeah, I mean, it can be a very feel like a sacred
Yeah,
glamour thing.
I love.
But yeah, what you wear and having that intention is like, color magic can be woven into that. Like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna wear green because I'm going out there to make the money, and that's what, or whatever draws that feeling. If you feel like putting on a blazer puts you in your boss bitch, or I'm sorry, I keep cussing. I don't know if
No,
you do
no,
that on
you
your.
can cuss. You can cuss.
Okay.
That thing's fine. Yeah, yeah.
But like, I have a dirty mouth. I can.
No, me too. I cuss every 5 seconds of my life, so you're
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
Um, it's one of those things about when you decide to be your most authentic self, is like that filter gone.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, if putting on a blazer makes you feel like a boss bitch, then like, that can be part of glamour magic. And so I think whether it is dressing, and it doesn't have to be elaborate, if what feels comfortable to you is like a t-shirt and leggings because you're claiming your sovereignty and that your clothes don't define you, that can be an intention. If you are putting on a hoodie because you want to feel protected and comfy, and you want to put a hood up to feel veiled, like that is also valid. So like, using like I can see how getting into those things too can be like a quick pipeline to um, a lot of pressure and a lot of like not just like a little anxiety of like, am I doing this right? Do I have to do, push it? And if it's making you uncomfortable, sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone to grow. But if it really feels bad to you, don't do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I just, as we're wrapping up here, I wanted to ask you too, like, as I'm hearing you talk about your journey of self-empowerment, really, and finding your authentic self, I'm sure that helped immensely when you finally decided to own your own business and create your own business. And oh my gosh, like when you started working at the treehouse to do events and you are officially a practitioner there. um One, it was so nice to have another witch here to learn from and share the space with, and it was awesome. It is awesome to have you part of the treehouse. And but like, to me, I see you and I'm just like, oh yeah, like duh, Jenny's so good at this. Like this is exactly what she should be doing, and you're so good at it, like teaching.
Thank you.
You're good at teaching. Oh my God, yeah, of course. And I always say you're such a Virgo because she is such a Virgo. Like, she is so, like, she can talk about what she loves and what she knows for so long. And I love people that are so educated, and she is. And anyway, so I'm sure it took a lot of glamour magic to help you step out of the comfort zone of, working under other salons, like,
Yeah. I
that.
feel like a lot of my life has been like finding my voice and learning. I mean, to step up and find confidence in who I am from being LGBT and coming out and figuring out my identity, being a bisexual woman and marrying a cisgendered man and being like, no, this is still who I am. And he honors that. Like he has a bi wife energy shirt that he wears. It's hilarious.
I love them.
Um, but and like so there's that, and then just as a woman having to find confidence and be working in the beauty industry and kind of breaking some of the barriers there. But my astrology also really like I did an astrology reading with Megan at the Holistic Treehouse. She's a great astrologer.
Beautiful.
But like she was like, you're meant to be a disruptor. So like, I kind of had to find confidence to be able to do that. And I do still sometimes I'm like, ooh, am I too much? Am I rubbing people the wrong way? Like those voices come up, but I just try to move past them and, keep it moving, keep it trucking. Cause when I lean into that, I feel like things go better for me. So
Absolutely. And you come into your purpose and what you're meant to do. And ugh, I love that. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing all of this with us. Why don't you, well, actually, before I sign off here, is there anything else on your heart that you would like to share with the listeners? Anything about Glamour Magic or what you have going on? Anything else that we didn't cover that you feel is important to you? No pressure.
um, I think it's just important to remember to um, do what fills your cup, do things for you, do things that give you joy and light a spark in you. Um, because things that bring you joy bring it to you for a reason. It's energetically aligned. So, and if anybody has questions about Glamour Magic or some tips and tricks, because we didn't really get too much into like the some of the other like applications of it. I'm happy to answer questions. They can always reach out. I'd love to teach a class on Glamour Magic soon, but yeah, just be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself. That is kind of my message that I like to put out there. Um, and yeah,
Beautiful. What are you doing right now to fill your cup? Like, what is your plan to do that?
I built my meditation station. Sorry, my nose.
So good. So good.
So that has been because like I realized in therapy that I didn't really know what rest meant for me because like just laying in bed, that doesn't feel like rest for me. So not having to make decisions and giving myself safe spaces to where I can just exist without like scanning for what needs to be done. So the having this space where I don't, when I sit here, I know I don't have to take care of anything else and I can give my brain that rest. So doing things like that to define what rest means for me and how I can achieve that.
I love that. How beautiful. That resonates a lot with me. Tomorrow I'm going to get a 90-minute massage with I'm so like, fucking excited. I've learned a lot that coming back to my body and taking care, like feeling grounded and present and like slowing down, that's a huge thing for me too. So I
Yeah.
totally get that. Anyway, thank you for sharing all of that. Where can people find you and work with you, and what things do you have coming up if you're listening to this present day, around present day?
So let's see, for the for the month of March, I have a Magick of the Fae class coming up at the Treehouse. I have a spring equinox class at the Holistic Treehouse. We're doing a day retreat at the Holistic. So you can find me at the Holistic Treehouse teaching.
Yeah.
You can essentially. You
Yeah.
can also keep up to date with like events and classes and things that I have going on my website, which is hexandhair.com. And then my socials, TikTok and Instagram, are at Hex and Hair. So you can find me on there. I try to really make sure everyone knows what I have going on so they can try to find it. I also have a podcast. It's on all the streaming platforms called Conversations at the Crossroads, which is, it's a baby podcast. It's growing, but I'm really proud of what it's doing and the content that I'm getting to put out there. So yeah, that's where to find me.
Yeah. Okay, I'll link it all below. Thank you again for coming on and sharing all of that with us. It was incredible.
Thank you for having me. I am so grateful to have you in my life, my fellow witch and daughter of Hecate, and all of the things. Like, you mean so much to me, and so I'm honored to be here in your space.
Oh, thank you. I love
Yeah.
you. Thank
Love
you.
you, and Milo loves you.
I love you, Milo. He's like, what are we doing?
He said I was sleeping.
Cute. Bye, Milo. I love you.
Goodbye.
Okay. Bye, everyone.